Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
December 17th, 60 degrees out. Makes no sense.
Massively overdressed.
You could take a layer off inside, Tom,
I
Yeah.
could.
You could. So it is EMAX Chamber Chat.
Let's
our
see how the day goes.
Come on, Tom, start shaking it off. And we're rolling.
Why is this the one you invited me on?
Oh, they're like this every time.
Yeah,
Okay.
this
So
is
you're
nothing.
just nothing.
You're not
new.
that special.
So we are at a shared universe podcast studio
Fantastic.
at Bellworks.
Yep.
Yep. We have Chris on the boards. Yay. Back from a couple of weeks off and glad to see him here and healthy and happy.
Happy to be back, guys.
Yay.
Very good.
Yay. And we have Chris on the other end of the table. We have Chris Freeman from Aflac. I'm gonna get in the habit of calling him Chris. My thing is with the chamber, I see everything in writing so many times. So what I see in writing is what I keep in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So your official name when you log into everything is Christopher. So I've been calling you that the whole time. So I'm going to work on that.
Okay,
That's good, right? Okay.
yeah. I'm only Christopher when I'm getting yelled at. So.
Oh, I don't ever yell at anybody. Tom, do you have something stuck in your throat?
I need to try harder. Then.
I'm good. I'm good.
So we had a phenomenal holiday party last week.
We did. We had a great time.
We had a great time. I want to thank our BAH committee for putting that together. It was awesome.
They did a good job.
We were at Red Tank in Red Bank that did a fabulous job hosting us. We had our food. We worked with Barter Pays and had our food through Chilango's in Highlands. And happy to say that Leo at Chilango's is now a member of the chamber.
Yep,
Woohoo!
that's awesome.
We had first drinks sponsored by Woodward Realty, Rumson, Elaine Chembray, and Marie Noglos. We had second drinks sponsored by Tom Duffy, Jersey Shore Financial Advisors. We also collected money for Monmouth Daycare Center.
That's correct.
And happily to report, it was about $1,600
Yep.
that we were able to deliver to them in gift cards and checks so that they could help their families provide for their families.
Yep,
So
that was awesome.
it was really great. They were very appreciative. The day we went to give them their money, it was pajama day at the school. So they forgot to tell us and we were a bit overdressed, but it was fun. And so it was, I guess we should say how many people were there. Oh, and what else should we say?
I was going to say a big shout out to Nissan. They came across big time. I
gotta tell you, Nissan City of Red Bank is this is not a paid advertisement, people. Because I did just listen. It could be. It could be. We'll be getting in touch with you. But they have just been an amazing supporter of so much locally since they came in and took over. They really have. They hosted us in October. They've sponsored quite a few of our events. They were so generous to Monmouth Daycare Center. They just really want to get out there in the community. Really awesome. So
that's fantastic. We're happy to have them.
Yeah, I know I did not do as good of a job as Tom DeVoy and Nina did today on Thunder 106 talking about how wonderful they are, because that's what I listened to on my way here. But, shout out to Press Communications for working with other members as well. So it's pretty awesome. So we did have 54 people there.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was huge.
That explains all the second drinks.
That explains why Tom's bill was much higher than he anticipated.
Happy to do it. We had a great time.
We did. It was really, everybody was in a great mood.
Can we do it again?
Yeah, next year.
Okay.
Not January. Get it? Not next year, January.
Yeah,
we'll do a holiday party again. We do lots of parties though.
Okay.
We do.
All right.
So you mentioned something really key. So let's hit that point really fast. You just said you can have a paid advertisement.
Open mouth, insert foot.
Yes. So Tom, let's talk about, so EMAC is always looking to help our members grow their business. That is our goal. Right. We do a lot of it in this format where we invite our guests, we promote their business, which we should mention. We do have a guest today. Well, I did say it already, though, didn't I?
We will get to you, Chris. Don't worry.
Just chill. Jump in
I'm under the impression I'll be allowed to talk at some point.
Yeah, I don't always talk all the time. So anyway, so we have, in the past, we've worked with marketing sponsorships, that kind of thing. We think this year for 2022, we have some great marketing opportunities.
Yes.
We've changed our prices on so many things. We mentioned first drink sponsor, huge takers on that one. So we need to spread the love. So now we have a refreshment/food sponsor for each of our events.
Okay.
So at $100, you can be the sponsor behind what is provided for food at our events.
Right. So you get to dole it out. You get to stand there with the tongs.
Yeah, you pay $100 and then you serve.
Yeah.
No, you get to lead. We obviously credit you in all the pre-event marketing.
Right.
We will credit you at the event. You can leave some media stuff at the thing and let everybody know who you are.
I thought I was going to have to cook.
No cooking. No, we charge $200 for that. Then we have our premier sponsor for $200 for all of our events except our signature events, which are Spinnaker, Golf, and Christmas in July.
Right.
So, but everything else, $200 to sponsor an event, all pre-event marketing, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Digital stuff.
Digital. We do. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching at EMACNJ on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Blowing up.
Right.
Jill is killing it.
Yep.
So we're really happy. All the new followers, we have all the information that's coming in. People are sharing, liking, tagging. We love it. And we continue to tag as many as we can as well. So it's all about boosting each other up. So the sponsorships help you do that as well. So we have now we're going to be offering a social media feature.
Yes.
Where you can come in and
well, we've always done it. We're going to do
this is a little
a
different,
little bit more formal.
A little bit more formal. You get a little bit more with your package. You pay for that one, and that's pretty awesome. I'm sorry I don't have the details. Jill, don't kill me. I forgot to bring them with me. We'll talk about that next time. But we have one special to this, and that is our Chamber Chat podcast sponsorship.
Correct.
You want to talk about it?
Well, it's an opportunity for somebody to take a sponsorship to sponsor the 2 podcasts that we do every month, and we will promote. For a small fee, we will promote your business. You'll be able to do a commercial, and we'll put that out as part of our marketing for each podcast.
You'll do a little commercial here on our podcast. We will ask you what exactly you're looking to get from your marketing, and we are going to be doing some specific targeting for the sponsor for those 2 podcasts that month in social media as well. So I'm happy to announce that Tom will be our first sponsor. We're going to be taking the month of January off. So we are going to hit the ground running again in February. Tom will be our first podcast sponsor for the month of February.
Also known as Guinea Pig.
Well, your idea, you didn't put your finger on your nose fast enough, Tom,
What does my forehead hurt?
Tom, I feel like you're just finding out about this now.
Yeah.
No. It was his idea.
I walked into it.
Yeah, he did. Fully.
Bang. Yeah.
But you know what?
Low bridge.
You know what I got to say is it's members like Tom who make this awesome. Tom has been involved with the chamber a lot. His involvement has ranged from just getting started to joining committees, running business after hours,
getting thrown off committees, putting back on committees.
Did you run business networking breakfast at one point too?
I'm sure I was a co-chair of that committee.
Okay, I was sure you were. You've co-chaired Spinnaker. You have been chairman of the board at least twice.
Ex-chair at least twice.
Past chair, not ex. Oh. You never become ex because we never really let you leave, as you know.
Really?
So we're sitting in the meeting and Tom's like, I am so glad. This is it. I am done. I past chair. My 2 years of past chair over. And then what do you know? Tom signs up to be the guinea pig sponsor for February as soon as he's done in January. So, he's never leaving us.
Note to self, keep mouth shut.
Yeah, well, no, don't. We love ideas and we love those who are willing to make them come to fruition. So those are our sponsorship opportunities. And we're really, thank you for taking this on in February and giving us a shot. And we're happy to continue doing this. So
yeah, it should be fun. I think our members are really going to like it. I mean, everything we see, everything we hear about is digital and social media and all that kind of stuff. And so being able to offer more of that to our members is just, it's incredible. So
it's great. Yep. It's great. So we're really excited about that. So sponsorships are available for everything coming up. And when we have some spoken for already.
We'll sell anything.
Yeah, Tom will sell his shirt if he takes it off. Right. I'm just saying. You had to be here at the very beginning to get that. Good morning, Courtney. Good morning, Heather.
They're thinking, what did I tune into?
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. I think we've talked about the health and wellness, and we've had a lot of those members on here before. So that was a committee that really worked to focus on one of the interest groups in the chamber. We're working, 2022 is going to bring that a lot more into the whole chamber and not quite its own umbrella. We had done ENG a while ago. So we have our EMAX Next Generation as part of our chamber now. And this year we've started Women in Business.
Yep. Fantastic.
So we're really excited. It's a great group of dynamic business women who just want to empower, collaborate, and support the other women in business. And we have our first event on January 10th, Monday, January 10th. It's going to be at your CBD store in Monmouth Beach, which is owned by one of our members, Elena Sullivan-Saley. We are going to have Delitza Perez from DNC Lifestyle. There might be another word to that, and I apologize if in the name of her company, but it's definitely DNC Lifestyle. Delitza is going to be speaking to us about, taking care of ourselves as women, as business owners, moving into the new year. We, nobody can function and be, help others unless they're taking care of themselves.
Right,
So Delitza is going to be speaking about that.
Fantastic.
We have Manasquan Bank, Christine Zalewski, who has offered to sponsor the refreshments and the event.
Oh, awesome.
Which has been really great. And so we've got a lot of dynamic women speaking briefly that evening, and we're just going to have a girls' night. And I'm sorry you men don't understand the pleasure of a girls' night, but there's something special about a bunch of women getting together, and it's pretty dynamic. So we're excited about that. It's all good. It's not that we don't love you guys. It's just, sometimes a girl's just got to be a girl.
Yep. Got it.
So anyway, they'll probably shoot me for that. That was not the professional image we were going for, Jennifer.
I live in a house with 2 women. Well,
I know you do. I know. So. Good morning, Andrea.
Well, the good thing for us is we get a night off. And
you can look at it that way.
Right?
I don't have to put up with our friends this time.
Good morning, Jessica Lee Evans. Would love to learn more. Oh, great, Andrea. We will give you a call. We'll let you know more about the podcast sponsorship ASAP.
Just send us a check. It's easy.
Call Tom. He'll tell you all about it. So we have that coming up. We have our breakfast coming up. Our breakfast is going to be for the entire year of 2022. It's going to be at Middletown Art Center.
Right.
Taking a different format. We're changing some stuff up. We, used to have them 7:45 to 10, a 45 minute presentation. We're now focusing a little bit more on the networking. And we will be doing, it starts at 8. So Thank goodness. Starts at 8 o'clock at Middletown Art Center.
Instead of 7:45?
Instead of 7:45. You think that
no,
15
I know. But believe me, I know.
That 15 minutes makes a big difference. So anyway, we do that. We're going to have food brought in. We're going to be in the little lobby. So it's kind of really casual. We're going to, have tables stand up. We'll have a presentation from Dr. Gunnar Schnappoff from Soul Focus.
Okay.
He will be talking again about kicking off the new year, healthy things you can do at your desk, things you can do in your life to just keep yourself healthier and start the new year off very well. And that is sponsored by, we don't have a sponsor for that. We do not have a sponsor, food or premier sponsor for that. So if you want to be a premier sponsor for $200, you get an opportunity to speak to the group. January is usually quite a large group for us
cooking
because
not required.
Yeah, cooking not required. Not for any of it. Tom's just obsessed with. He's actually a good cook. That's why. And then so we have that coming up.
Do a cooking show.
And we're maybe we should do a cooking show next time on Cooking with EMAC. Oh Lord, going down a really bad path right now. So then we have our business after hours, which will take place at the end of January. Okay. We are hoping to give you more details. This time we're doing it with another group, so we don't necessarily get to plan as easily because there's a lot of time in between. Right. So hopefully we will be meeting with MODC, which will bring quite a great crowd, much big group, which is what we're working on, finding a place big enough to hold us. But we've already got stuff in the works for everything in February. March is Spinnaker. We've already, speaking of sponsorships, I do want to thank PDR, Packaging Distribution Resources, as our corporate sponsor for the year. We already have 3 sponsors committed for, actually 3 sponsors that I know off the top of my head committed. I think one came in yesterday, and I apologize for not knowing that one, but we'll get it next time. Provident Bank is an Admiral sponsor. We have
these are Spinnaker sponsors.
Spinnaker sponsors, right. So Provident Bank is already stepped up to be an Admiral sponsor.
Right. I'll be a Bosun sponsor as always. So
great, thank you, Tom.
That was easy.
This is the way Tom's sponsorship is awesome. Oh, yes, I know, Elaine. Oh, my goodness. She's so focused on her BAH committee that's all she chimes in with every time. April, we will be at Chilango's for our BAH. There.
Okay, great.
Okay, great.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Okay.
So we'll be at Chilango's in April? Is that what we're saying?
That's what Elaine is making sure we say.
Okay. Elaine says.
Elaine says.
Okay, good.
And this is being recorded, so
yeah.
Oh,
actually, it's going out live.
Yes,
so,
we are live and everything. So
yeah.
And Jessica, the Monmouth Ocean Development Council is really looking forward to our joint event with EMAC.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, because we're looking forward to it too. We just would like to have more details, so we're working on that.
Right.
So
details.
Anyway, details like when and where.
Details,
Not
my department.
So, going back to Spinnaker,
yes.
New Jersey Natural Gas, and Weather Vane Services.
Cool.
So the nice thing about Spinnaker, one of the interesting things about our 3 signature events is in order to have the privilege of sponsorship for EMAC on all of our other events, you have to be a member.
Mm-hmm.
But for our 3 signature events, we allow non-members to support us. And we've been very lucky with lots of non-members over the years continuing to support us. And we're very, very pleased.
Well, they've always been big, supporters of the community, which we love.
And, I don't know if you guys saw the e-blast I sent out yesterday, but it was 'Tis the Season to thank our sponsors.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Holy moly, did we have a lot.
Yeah. It was one of those TLDR, too long, didn't read, because it's so long.
No, because you know what? There wasn't a lot to read. It was just names.
That's what I mean. It was just so long.
It was very long. There were a lot of names, but they were very linked.
It was like a Christmas list. Almost.
Yeah, it might have been, but you could go follow it alphabetically if you're looking for someone specifically. Click on their link, and it'll take you to tell you more about them. Okay. So we thank our sponsors.
So everybody should pull that out of their spam basket or their
please
trash
do, because there's
and go back and read that.
Yeah, or scan. You can scan. Not asking for a full read. Scan's good. Familiar names.
A click or two.
Come on, take the hours I spent doing this.
Yeah, 1 or 2 clicks. That's all we want.
Oh, yes, Elaine, you're right. I'm so sorry. And in February for our BAH, Jersey Shore Chamber of Commerce is joining us at Sonesta.
There you go.
Hotels. So, yes. Sorry, Elaine. You're going to have to come co-host next time so you can get all your stuff in.
Yeah, that's
Or sponsor,
that
Elaine.
might just be one
Maybe
podcast.
Elaine should sponsor.
Yeah. She can run the BAH podcast.
The BAH podcast. There you go. She's like, oh my God, they're going to make me talk. Don't do that. So,
should we talk to our
guest?
So, you guys are
did we not tell you?
Did we fail to tell you the first 20 minutes is all about us?
You should know that by now.
I was going to say, seriously.
That helps me out because I don't have to fill an hour now.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We definitely don't make you fill a whole hour. I hope you weren't prepared for a whole hour.
I don't think you want me prepared for that.
So you're one of our newer members.
Yes.
And what made you, because you don't work locally.
I do, but I'm not based down here.
Right, that's what I meant. You're not based locally.
So we do use Bellworks for a lot. This is kind of my second office. If I have to be down here and I'm not physically meeting with a client, this is where I come. But I am based more north central New Jersey. That said, this is one of my focus areas. The first client I picked up in this area is probably around 2016, and just slowly from there, it built from there. And towards the end of 2019, I really started focusing more in on Monmouth County, Red Bank, Eatontown, that area, as something I wanted to focus on. As you can imagine, that kind of got delayed a couple of years with COVID.
No, it didn't.
Really?
No, everything was fine.
Yeah, let's go with that. No, and then, beginning of 2021, starting, the water's starting to recede a little bit.
That's a good way to put it. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's okay.
And it's almost like starting over again in certain aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some of the organizations I'm involved in that was pre-pandemic, and then new ones that, maybe something I joined 5 years ago wasn't working out anymore. All things considered, this did give me time to reconsider a few things, and that wasn't working. Here's what I want to do differently. Here's what the kind of organization I want to be involved in. And quite frankly, when I started looking last March and April, part of it was, who's actually doing something besides a Zoom call? And that was, East Monmouth Chamber's doing something. It's not a Zoom call. Okay, I'm in.
Oh, great.
And then from there, actually getting to go to a couple of events, and just from, it grew from there. I'm like, all right, I've been wanting to focus in this area, get more involved. I do need to have more connections in this space, and let's go with this.
Good. And you're happy with your decision?
Yeah.
Good.
So
Like
far,
it.
he is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to say, because we don't have any details, but he's already approached me with an idea. What did I say earlier about have an idea?
Right.
Have an idea, run with it. So
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about.
You must run with it, not that we will run with
Right.
it.
Chris has an idea he's going to be bringing
Which
to
Chris
us.
will run with.
Chris will be running with said idea, we think, once we have our meeting about it. But he's been involved with our E&G committee. I think you're looking to get involved with the Health and Wellness Committee.
Yes.
Which ties into, did we even say what company you're with?
Well, I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. So
Maybe
nobody
maybe
knows.
maybe we ought to
You
do
want to
that.
reintroduce him now?
So
Did we tell you this was one of our really serious events?
Yeah,
You
no,
did.
yeah.
I think.
We lied. Yeah, no, not so much. Not so much. So Chris, please tell us about your business.
So, I'm an employee benefits advisor with Aflac, which I think there's very few people that haven't heard of us, especially during college football season. It's almost impossible to not hear us constantly. We own the trivia question. We're in every commercial slot, but we're an employee benefits provider. We deal mainly with small and mid-sized businesses to, provide financial safety net for their employees and our policyholders in the event of an accident, a major illness, a disability, and really anything that's going to have our clients dealing with out-of-pocket medical costs and in a position where they may not have their normal income to rely on. So health insurance is vital. There's a reason the government mandates you have it, but your health insurance policy in many ways is kind of like a piece of Swiss cheese. There's a lot of holes in it. Copays, deductibles, other out-of-pocket expenses. If you're unable to work because you're out on disability and maternity, and just your everyday living expenses. So I know I went through this a couple years ago. I broke my leg and ankle. I'm not going to tell that story.
Okay,
Told
Tom.
it enough. But if I didn't have, thank God I had Aflac, because that would have been rough. My out-of-pocket bills between the ER visit, the ortho, the million rounds of x-rays, the surgeries, and the PT. Well, the surgery and the PT visits, like $5,000.
Oh,
that I did not really want to deal with myself. Thankfully, my Aflac coverage kicked in, and I didn't have to deal with it myself.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. So I remember when I first met you and found out you were with Aflac, I had to ask about the duck.
Everybody does.
Well, I know. So, our listeners would be extremely disappointed. Our people listening today are really full of it. Courtney is like, an ENG is amazing. Yes, they are. Sorry. So our listeners, all of them who are chiming in today, would be very disappointed if they didn't get to hear a good duck story. So what's your favorite duck story? Because I know we've talked to, we just mentioned one before you went on air, but that may not be your favorite. So tell us your favorite duck story.
Pascal and Sabine's in Asbury Park.
Mm-hmm.
They do a great duck cassoulet, but that's not the one you were looking for.
It doesn't matter. You can
Trust me.
I don't think that was the
Oh,
duck story.
that's it. Oh, I get it. I was slow. Sorry.
I prefer seeing them on a
He's a
plate in front of me.
foodie. He's a foodie. It was a cooking reference. See, this is why I'm not doing a cooking show. Sorry. Go ahead.
This is my first day, and it's amazing I came back after this. My first day with Aflac back in August of 2014.
Don't bang again.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Everybody hears that really loud.
Okay. So,
Or Tom was making it past you. I'm not sure which.
Mostly the drumming. Mostly.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Now
so go ahead. Go
trying
back
to
to
get
the
him
real
to take
story.
his shirt off is really disturbing.
Good thing it's Friday.
It's a good thing it's Friday. And by the way, Courtney added in, if Elaine gets to shout out and represent BAH, come on. So please, duck
August
story.
of 2014, my first day with Aflac, I'm on site with my manager, a couple of my coworkers for one of our larger clients in the area. It's a regional bank. They're doing a benefits fair at their headquarters in Somerset County. I'm going to keep this anonymous because they still tell me about this.
Yeah.
And they're not chamber members, so why give them the free advertising?
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But they're a pretty significant client for us, so we went all out for them. At the time, Aflac had a NASCAR sponsorship. We had the trailer out for him. We had Carl Edwards' car. I forget what number it was, but it had the Aflac livery all over it. We had that out for them. It was basically a fair in their parking lot. 3 or 4 of us there, educating them on their benefits, but food, games, all this stuff. And we're there all morning, early afternoon, and start packing up once everything's over. Load the truck up, everything's going back. My manager pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey, I gotta run up to Jersey City. We have this 3-foot stuffed Aflac duck, and 3-foot, it would, if you put it there, you wouldn't be able to see any of us."
Okay. Oh, so it might be
camera.
3 feet, but it's 3 feet like all the way around.
It's like 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet.
By 3 feet, yeah. I want him in my office. Can he come visit me?
They shed.
Oh, I don't want him in my office. I have
duck,
allergies. I cannot. I have allergies really bad. No shedding.
But okay, can you run this back to Bridgewater? I'm like, okay, sure. Because I haven't seen the thing yet. I have no idea what I'm getting into. And I have a 2-door car at the time, a lot smaller than what I'm driving now. And I dragging this thing across the parking lot. I get it in the front seat of my car. Then I get in the car and I can't see. It's riding shotgun. I can't see out the right side of my windshield. And I'm trying to get out of this office park that I've never been in before. And I'm going around in circles and
only turning left.
Right.
You can't see out the right.
Only turning right because you can't.
Well, the only turning left. We have the NASCAR sponsorship, so it works. But
funny how that
works. That is good. Yeah, I like that.
I come to a complete stop because I can't do this. I got to figure out where else I can put this in the car, and open the doors, drag this thing out. Mind you, it's a 2-door car, so I got to pull the seats forward and then just shove this thing in the back. And everybody at the 400 employees that worked at this bank's headquarters all got a good look at me. Just coming
murdering this duck.
Stopping my car as fast as I could, getting out, screaming, swearing, muttering to myself, trying to put this gigantic stuffed animal in the back seat of my car.
And I'm sorry, but you're not a small person, so it must be really, like, if you're struggling with this duck, it must be pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, I have this image in my head of Chris going,
No, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I think we might need a repeat of that. Could we maybe never mind, I won't go there.
No.
It's like maybe we could find it. We could do a whole thing based on who can stuff the duck in the car faster.
Yeah, this is what we have interns for. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, at that moment,
you
were just barely above a
right.
Intern.
Yes,
So
yeah.
so yeah.
7 years later, that's not my problem anymore.
Yeah. That's funny. That is funny.
Good morning, Kevin Ertl. That's a good story. Is that your favorite one, other than the one at Pascal and Slaves?
I mean, there's a ton. I did once have 2 Passaic County Sheriff's deputies try and steal it from me at an event.
Oh my goodness, how irresponsible! Stealing is illegal.
Which I really shouldn't have mentioned the department, but
okay.
It's the complete other side of the state.
They were friends of yours, and it was really just a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
We do a lot of work with. We do a lot of public sector work. We do a lot of work with law enforcement. They probably are the most enthusiastic subset of workers when it comes to Aflac. Every time I run into one, they have some story, they need help with some claim, which usually comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
You should probably not bring the duck around me, because the last time I was around a large stuffed mascot like that, I auctioned it off, much to the chagrin of the representative of that fund company. I actually auctioned it off. From the podium during the event, I said, "Yeah, we're going to auction off the bear." It was this giant stuffed bear, and her face was like, "No, I have to return that." I said, "Too late, it's gone."
I would be okay. Hey, you want to auction it off? It's your problem now. I don't have to deal with it again. So have at it.
Have at it. Oh, that might be. I can hear EMAC Educational Foundation going, "Huh, Tom, Chris, can you hook me up with that duck? We want to auction that off at the Spinnaker to earn some money for the foundation." You might get that call now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
As long as you send somebody to come up and get it.
Can you see Peter? Peter Pfister going up and getting the duck.
Yeah, yep. I could see that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. We might have to make this happen, and we may have to do a whole media story over it and like videotape the whole thing. And yeah, we'll get him on the line and work that out, because that might be pretty funny.
Well, maybe it's just a where's the duck instead of, because we may not be able to give it up. Right?
Chris just said we could. Come on.
I don't think that's what he meant. I think he meant he'll use it, but not he's going to have to return it. He
I
might have
don't
to sign it out.
Oh, I don't know.
We'll see.
Well, we're moving offices soon, so
So it got
maybe
lost
can
in the
get
shuffle.
Well, if he sheds, maybe you need a new duck.
That's true.
There's 3 of them, and
There's 3.
Yeah, so be careful what you share here.
Yeah, you know.
and I don't.
It's all out in the open now.
Not mine. I have nothing to do with the. Yeah, I have a trunk load of promotional products and everything else, but the big
Do
monstrosity.
you have small
things,
stuffed ducks?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to your trunk after.
We could do something with that.
Oh, we were watching Ted Lasso last night. This has nothing to do with any of this, but have you seen Ted Lasso? Okay. So it's the country guy who moves over to do football in England, right? And his coach is talking about the boot in the boot in the boot in the boot. Sorry. That's just going to go hit his boot and get his duck in his boot. Never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, this just took a wrong turn.
Yeah, so
I've never seen Ted Lasso, so I have no idea what the hell's going on.
I'm telling you, we watched 4 straight episodes last night. I howled. It is so funny. I highly recommend it, and I want to thank my daughter Jamie for bringing that home from college for us. So anyway, what's your favorite part about your job?
My favorite thing about my job is that really the relief we can provide for our clients. So I can remember a couple years ago, this is probably end of 2019, I'm having a week. It's just pure nonsense, enrollment gone badly and everything else. And I had a policy order I'd been on the phone with for about a week at this point, pretty much every day on the phone with his wife, trying to get everything straightened out. He had unfortunately had a stroke, out on disability. Really difficult situation, young kids at home. They don't know what's going to happen. And, everything else in that week was not going my way. Like, I get 3 parking tickets. I am, boss is driving me nuts. Clients driving me nuts. But with this was actually very rewarding for me. I mentioned what was going on with this person. I had been going back and forth trying to make sure that their claims were being handled properly. And I get an email. I'm checking something. I'm in the car running to my next meeting, and I get a heads up that their claim's been approved. So I get to call them and speak with his wife and let her know, hey, I just found out now your short-term disability claim has been approved. Your critical illness claim has been approved. And you are going to see the direct deposit in 1 to 2 days. And this person was at the end of the rope before. You could hear the relief in their voice. And that really is the most rewarding thing for me, is knowing that, despite some of the BS sometimes and everything else, we can actually provide some relief and some semblance of support for our clients when realistically, if somebody's on the phone with me every day, something terrible has happened.
Right.
Your insurance guy is not always somebody you want to speak to regularly or frequently. Sometimes it's good if I only hear from somebody. If you only talk to me once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, things are going well. More than that, you may have something going on.
Right.
But really, that is the most rewarding part, is being able to help people, being able to provide that support. And, for the people we interact with, they're usually grateful. The companies we provide our services to are grateful. And we can feel that, they can feel that, and it just pays dividends.
That's great. That's great. What made you choose Aflac over any other insurance company? Or first of all, what made you choose insurance? How did that all come about?
Like everything, by the time I'm 25, I kind of figured out playing for the Yankees wasn't going to happen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right, yeah. No, like everybody else in insurance, I fell ass backwards into it. So, my degree's in political science. I really have more of a government and political background, but really wasn't getting where I wanted to with that. I had an offer from the Federal Department of Labor. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, they want to pay me $33,000 a year, and I'm looking at law school at the time too, and they want $46,000 a year. Okay, this isn't going to work. The
Big disconnect.
Time to go to the private sector, and
Yeah.
maybe I don't need to go to law school. So I had some sales experience. Really on the campaigns I'd worked on, my role was basically sales. I'm, pitching a candidate instead of a product. I'm pitching ideas or, something like that. So, and I had worked retail sales in college and sometime thereafter. I had the background. When I started looking into sales, obviously it was a lot of financial services stuff, a lot of insurance companies. I probably interviewed with 5 or 6 different insurance carriers, mostly life insurance, some other stuff, some property and casualty. But the reason I chose Aflac was they had the unique pitch. It wasn't the traditional tabletop, across the kitchen table selling life insurance. I didn't really know if I wanted to be a financial advisor. Still, I'm not, so clearly. But I liked the fact that it's a different target than most insurance sales. So I'm not just dealing with, higher net worth people. It's not just life insurance. It's, I can deal with the broader swath of the public. I can help people that really are not, a lot of, not to disparage anybody, but a lot of financial services is geared towards, high income professionals, doctors, attorneys, entrepreneurs. We deal with plenty of those as well. Those are often the business owners we're dealing with. But it's broader than that, and that's not the only people we can help. I have solutions for people making $160,000 a year. I have solutions for people making $70,000 a year, and I have options for people making $30,000 a year. And in my experience, that's really where the greatest need is, for lack of a better term, the less highly compensated workforce, people who are paycheck to paycheck, people who, they rely on their income far more than somebody who's pulling down 160, 170 a year. And, really, especially now, the past couple of years have been tough for that segment of the population. You see a large portion of this country that's worried about their finances, worried about what the future holds. Are they going to be able to make ends meet, God forbid, if somebody gets hurt or if somebody gets sick? And, traditionally for us, we always thought of critical illnesses as heart attack, stroke, cancer, stuff like that. But COVID's made us rethink some of these things. We have had to retool some of our policies, both new and existing, to deal with the current reality. And yeah, that's about it. It's just making sure that we can help our policyholders and, reach out to them, meet them where they are, and make sure that they're protected.
So you get to deal with the companies to set up the policies that the companies pay the benefits for their employees, but then you also deal with the individuals once they put in a claim. Like, do you do both?
Correct. So the way Aflac works is typically the employer is making the coverage available. It's the way I describe it. It's almost like having us as a platform, not a policy. So hypothetically, say East Monmouth is a company offering Aflac. You're not offering one specific line of coverage. You're providing the platform. You're giving your employees access to the group rate, the group underwriting, or lack of underwriting in most cases. And they're facilitating, deductions and payment, but they may not be the ones paying for it, and they may not be the ones picking out which lines of coverage people are going with.
The employer doesn't pick them out. The employee picks them out.
Correct. Yep. So we'll have a few different options that, people can pick and choose from that tailor to their need, depending on income, their family situation, their personal background, what they're concerned about. I have a family history of cancer. So one of the things I make sure I'm going to keep active is my cancer and critical illness policy. That's what I'm worried about. Still smoke the occasional cigar. It's not completely out of the.
There's a little time for fun.
Yeah. But so it's two-sided. I don't want to say two-sided, but there's the two aspects of dealing with the business, making sure that, okay, what are they doing in terms of benefits? What have they experienced the past few years? Long story short, the cost of health insurance has probably increased by about 50% over the last decade.
Yeah.
Even with the ACA and everything else, it's tremendously expensive for a company to offer health insurance. It's usually their biggest expense right behind payroll. And if you're a small business, you don't have the same buying power that, up by me, the example I always use is Johnson & Johnson owns half the town I live in, pretty much. And then the other half, and then you have a bunch of smaller, not quite mom and pop, but pharmaceutical firms between 30 and 50 employees. They're doing research. They've got a new drug they're developing, and they have to hire from the same pool as J&J. But I know people that work in J&J, they intend to die there. They don't, once they're in, they don't leave. And if you're that 30-person pharmaceutical firm, you got to start getting creative in how you're hiring. Because especially them, this is the epicenter for that type of work. You got to be competitive on pay and on benefits. A lot of companies, depending on their situation, they can pick one or two. They can pick one. Government work traditionally is competitive on benefits, less so on pay. Private sector, more competitive on pay. And depending on the industry, may or may not be on benefits. But, we can help expand their options, expand their offering at no additional cost. Soak up some of the out-of-pocket costs that have increased with that increase in the price of health insurance. Companies have a limited budget for this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, if you're getting hit 15, 20% at renewal, okay, what do we either have to increase costs in terms of premium or increase cost in terms of out-of-pocket expenses. And unfortunately, out-of-pocket expenses is where a lot of people are getting hit. We can help with that. We can make some of those problems go away. Companies benefiting from the tax savings. The employees are benefiting from the tax savings. And, as an employer, you can bring us in, no additional cost, not a whole lot of work. We handle most of the administration and everything. You get to benefit from having this in your package. You benefit from the increases in retention, morale, recruiting. And the employees, they're happier, they're more productive. They're not nearly as worried about their finances. God forbid if somebody gets hurt, somebody gets sick. Right. And they have a way of dealing with whether it's, I have a giant bill from Robert Wood Johnson, the anesthesiologist or whatever. I have to pay the rent. I have to pay my mortgage, student loan debt, anything like that. They can still target what they need to take care of.
That's cool. It's a tough industry because I always say that insurance is a necessary evil because you have to have it. You can't afford not to have it, but it's not always the easiest to work with.
Right.
And it sounds like you spend a lot of your time and efforts helping people work with it and work through it. And you get the best of both worlds where you get to sell to the companies, but then you get to work with the individuals. So you see exactly how what they're offering is benefited by the individuals, which is kind of the whole round pocket.
And everybody's got an insurance horror story.
Oh, yeah.
I've got plenty of my own.
Yes.
Thankfully, none of them involve Aflac.
That's very good.
And it's a rarity that somebody else's involves Aflac.
Don't bring them up.
Yeah, don't say
no.
that. So I don't know. I want to go back really quick because we actually had, not that we were serious for a minute, so we got to take a little comic break.
Of course.
But Kevin Moot said good morning. And then when we were talking about the duck, he said, we all know I'll be the one that has to carry it because he always is the one that carries all of our stuff. But he said his sister does own 2 real ducks and she wants to get rid of them. So if anybody's interested, reach out to Kevin. Do you want a real duck instead? You could probably train it to climb up into the car itself.
Don't answer. Don't answer.
I get stuck with one of Kevin's ducks. I'm cooking that bastard. I'm telling you.
Oh, we just went there. There's our cooking show. Full circle.
I have a Peking duck recipe.
Oh no! Stop. Kelly, we're sorry, honey. We won't cook your ducks. My goose is cooked after this episode, but yeah, thank you. So, what would you say is your? Change the subject a little bit. What would you say is your favorite thing? Because now we've heard about your business.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard about why you joined the chamber. What's your favorite thing about Eastern Monmouth Area Chamber of Commerce? EMAC sounds like Aflac.
Don't start.
Sorry.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
My favorite thing about it, it's, well, besides the fact it's a convenient excuse during the summer to, just cut out early afterwards and, I have to be down the shore.
During the summer, yeah, all the time we're a good excuse to get out early.
Right.
That's why we plan our events at 5.
I got 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
Friday.
My favorite thing about this chamber is, really any group that I've been involved in that's worked out well for me. It's really been the people. It's not necessarily, I'm involved in the East Monmouth Chamber. I'm still involved in Somerset. I've been involved with others in the past, to varying degrees of success. And really, any organization that I've been in, it's the people in the room that make it what it is. So it's, you could have the best marketing in the world, and if you don't have anything to follow up with, it's not doing you any good.
So it's our people. We do have awesome people.
Yeah.
So when you say success measure, it depends on what success or what value. We know now that you value the people. What do you measure success by in a chamber? Like you said, some I've had more success than others. What's your success measurement with their membership like this?
So obviously I always want to pick up more clients whenever I can. And
who doesn't?
Right.
Yeah, right. I know.
Right. Oh, do you want to make more money or less money? It's an easy question.
Depends on who you work for.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. We've always, let's face it, we've all had a couple of clients.
Yes.
You're not worth what you pay me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But no, it's how effective can I be in, generating new business through it? What connections am I making? Are these worthwhile? Is it worth my time? Is it worth my money? And so far it has been.
Great. So the connections you're making, whether they're direct business or just connections to other people who can connect.
Right. Or whether it's direct business or centers of influence or anything else.
I
or
love
even
that.
if
Centers of influence. I want to be one of those persons of influence soon. I'm working on that.
You kind of are. You don't know it, but you kind of are.
I want to be one of those people. They're cool.
Well, it's not something you sign up for.
No,
No.
it just happens.
It just kind of happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're. I used a term with somebody the other day. Voluntold.
Oh, voluntold. Yeah,
Well,
we don't really voluntold.
Well, the whole chamber. That's kind of the point of the chamber. And so now I'm going to go on my,
go on your kick. I love your kicks.
So what you've described, Chris, is that you're not really in business unless you're part of the business community. And that's kind of what the chamber serves as, is that kind of center of influence, and that somebody that's looking for something, where do they go to ask for it? Well, if you go to the center that has the influence, right? So we know somebody comes to you, one of our members asks, hey, we're looking to add voluntary benefits, which is what Chris has described. Well, who are they going to get sent to? They're going to get sent to Chris, right? And so that's that makes you a center of influence, because you may influence our members to use other members. And so that's really is the definition. Right. So, all the things that we talked about when we first started, we talked about Chalangos, we talked about, Nissan, we talked about all of our supporters. Well, we're all relying on the chamber, and the chamber as the hub to be that center of influence for all of us. So that's
okay.
So
cool.
you already are.
So it's my team.
It's the team, it's the organization, it's the community that we've developed. All the folks that are chiming in this morning,
right.
we're all part of that community, so that we're all part of that influence. So,
I wanted to be like the influence on YouTube or something.
That's all different. That's a whole, that's a whole different influencer. Yeah.
Darn it. I thought you were giving me a really good compliment. You're just saying we're all in it together. We're all in this.
Yeah. We are. But yeah, no, that's.
I've been breaking into song a lot this week. You think it has anything to do with the holiday season?
It might.
I don't know. I haven't been holiday songs though. I haven't been singing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I
Or
got
not.
Jill in 2 songs in one conversation the other day. I felt bad for the poor girl. Anyway,
So anyway, so that's
sorry.
just it. So yeah,
So
and all of our members and the folks that are supporters, really, that's we're not really in business unless we're part of the business community, and that's really what the chamber tries to foster, is to bring people into
Right.
the
And I
business
think
community.
I was reading something, I forget what it was, Harvard Business Review or Wall Street Journal, or there was some study. It's like businesses that were involved in their communities were more resilient,
Mhm.
and
Certainly,
mhm,
I agree.
especially during the pandemic, during the shutdowns and everything else,
mhm.
more likely to survive.
Right, because they're not isolated.
You're not
They
isolated. You
actually
have
that.
access to
Yep.
resources, and
Right, you don't know where something is.
you know somebody who does.
Yep, reach out
Yeah.
to your community. So
And that-
chances are somebody either does that or they can put you in touch with somebody who does.
And that's what we often say that about being a member. On the opposite end, we get those questions. And if we
Mhm.
didn't have Chris to refer, who,
Mhm.
we need all different types we got a call yesterday somebody looking for snowplow services.
There you go.
We don't have any of those members that we know of. We gave 2 options to try because we don't know for sure.
Mhm.
But it's not, we want to refer as much to our local communities as we can, and businesses to our local businesses as much as we
Sure.
can, which reminds me, don't forget to continue to shop small for
Mhm.
this holiday season. Support your local businesses. Try to do as much local as you can. It's not as easy. I had a couple of experiences where I made a conscious effort this year to really try to not go to the big box stores, to really try to find what I'm looking for locally. So it does take more of an effort, but think about who you're supporting.
Mhm.
And, you're supporting those small businesses. There's a need for everything, but our small businesses need our support, especially after the last 2 years. So,
Mhm.
so I thought I'd throw that out there.
Excellent. Very good.
No problem.
Agreed. No
No
argument.
No argument there. No argument there. So we have about 8 minutes left. What do we need to talk about? What do you think? Any burning desires are the good of the order? I think that's my new thing. For the good of the order.
As if that's important.
I don't know.
Nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind. He's overwhelmed by our charm and has nothing else to add.
Oh no. So I'm probably going to put you on the spot a little bit, Chris. But so are you involved in any of the committees on the chamber?
I'm involved with ENG and the Health and Wellness Committee.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So good. So you are.
Yeah.
So that I wanted to make sure, because if you weren't, we were going to put you on a committee.
Yeah, I made sure to pick what I want to be involved in early before they pick for me.
Yes, yeah, that's the whole voluntold thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're going to volunteer for something, so either choose what you want or we're going to put you there. I just say we've been really, with our new members, been really lucky that they've seen the value in getting more involved early, and they're really jumping into a lot of leadership roles, which we appreciate. We do. I mean, I'm sorry,
leadership. We got to go.
I gotta say, we have some great new blood, younger blood, new older blood. New blood is great no matter what, and we love our members who have been with us and supported us and got us to where we are. They're tired. They kind of need a break.
Yeah, I think
our leadership is tired, and
new perspective, new and different,
right?
Or just maybe faster and better ways of doing things.
Yeah, got to say that is taking place. So we hired Sandy as our newest administrative assistant or office manager. We're still working on her title because we like to make up titles in our office. So that's what we do. But so Sandy, we're working on that with her, and she is so funny. She came to, when I jumped in totally blind, took all this on. So I have my ways of doing things, and I've been the only one training anybody. So Jill does all the things my way too. Sandy comes in and says, "Why are you doing this 3 times? Why do you put it here, here, and here?" I'm like, because I know that if I'm looking for it, I can look here, here, or here, depending on what I remember that day to find it. And she'll be like, okay, this is really silly, So she'll look at the process and she'll go, okay. I'm like, all right, give me 1 more year. And then you're right. You're completely right. I'm just not willing to give it up yet. So give me 1 more year. We'll cut back. And
How
then
about 1 more month?
Well, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about annual things, it's
okay.
give me this year to do it. If we're talking about, she's already totally embraced our chamber master, uses it so much better than Jill and I do. Really starting to, fill up that database better with more and more information to benefit everyone. And she's great. That's good.
She's really a complementary skill set that
she really does.
She can fill in the blanks.
Yeah. She really challenges Jill and I to think outside of our routine box.
Mhm.
You know,
That's awesome.
so it's great. It's really great. We love having her, and we're hoping to maybe in 2022. We've got a lot of individual projects that need to be done on a volunteer basis. We have some history projects. We have some communication projects. We have some research projects that we need done that we don't have the manpower to do. So we're looking for some students really specific to come, not necessarily work forever, but to do some project-based work. We're going to be working with Brookdale on that for next year. And, we're always looking for, can't leave out Maria, our volunteer who has been with me longer than anybody else at this point. And we did just have our holiday celebration at Triumph the other night, and it was fun to have the team back together. We missed our Derek. He did not fly in from Florida for us, but we had On back and Jill and Maria, and then Sandy got to meet all the crazy people we talk about all the time. So we had a really good time. It was a fun night. So Heather Baker's clapping. Yay! I'm not sure what she's clapping for. All the fun, all the committee, maybe herself. She's an influencer. I don't know. But anyway, okay. Well, with that, since it's holidays,
I think we're done. Yes, Chris, thanks very much for being here.
Yeah,
We
thank
appreciate
you
it.
very much. And like I said in the beginning, we'll be taking January off. So start looking for our promotion for our February podcast. We'll be back. Great guests. We'll have Tom sponsoring us for the first month of February. And we look forward to signing everybody else up to get in on the good fun. So
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for being with us. Happy holidays, everyone. And we'll see you next year.
You.
Cool.